So let's look at how our beliefs are formed. What is in the subconscious and how does it get in there? So when we're born, we only have our subconscious mind. This means we don't have our rational mind when we're little. Anybody who's ever had a baby knows that it's around 2 or 3 before they begin to develop their rational mind. So what that means is that for those first few years of our lives until the rational mind begins to develop, we have no ability to reason or to censor anything we're being told. The subconscious just takes in whatever we're told, whatever we're exposed to, as though it were fact. Now, we take in messages from our environment both directly and indirectly. So a direct message is something that a person actually says to you. So for example, having a negative critical parent who tells you you're worthless or a teacher who tells you you're bad at math. When we're little, we don't have the ability to censor those messages. They just go straight into the subconscious. Remember, the subconscious is not the reasoning part of the mind. It doesn't go, oh, maybe that person was just in a bad mood, or maybe they're projecting their own feelings about themselves onto me. The subconscious has no ability to do that. The messages just go into the subconscious and become part of our belief system. Indirect messages are messages that we pick up from observing somebody else's example, noticing their body language, their behavior, how they act in the world, their tone of voice. So for example, when we're little, we're learning a whole lot about the world by observing our parents. They don't even have to say anything. We're learning what a man's role is, what a woman's role is, what communication looks like, what affection looks like, what arguing looks like, what doing the household chores looks like. We're learning so many things without them ever saying anything because those messages are being given to us indirectly. So, if you were 2 years old before that logical mind begins to develop, and I told you that that blue thing on your screen right now was a circle, you would just believe me if there had been nobody who got to you first to tell you otherwise. Again, you have no ability to censor, no ability to fight back against what I'm saying. My telling you that that's a circle would go straight into your subconscious, and it would take somebody a lot of work later to convince you otherwise. After 2 or 3, we begin developing our conscious mind. If you have children, this is the point in their lives where they would have been saying, why, all the time until you thought you were going to go crazy. Celebrate that. What that means is they're questioning things. That's their conscious mind beginning to form. Now, it takes until 8 or 9 years old for the conscious mind to fully develop, but at that time we now have a filter known as the critical factor for you hypno geeks that we can use to censor information that we're receiving. So now, being an adult, if I tell you that thing on the screen is a circle, you think, no it isn't, she's crazy, that's a triangle, that's wrong. That is the feeling of your filter being in place. You felt a message come in and you could feel yourself arguing back and rejecting it. So you censored that message. That one did not end up inside your subconscious mind. But we're not out of the woods yet. The problem is the filter has holes in it, and at various times in our lives, those holes just open up, and it's like being a year old again. We're taking in messages from the environment around us, from the people around us, without being able to censor them. So let's look at times when the filter is open and messages are slipping through into your subconscious. It happens when we are emotional or overwhelmed. Remember I said earlier that the subconscious is the seat of all of your emotions. If you're ever in a highly emotional state, you're really anxious, you're really angry, you're really jealous, whatever, your conscious mind is left the building. You're coming from your subconscious. What that means is any messages that you're getting from the world around you or ones you might be giving yourself, we all have a voice inside of our own heads, and so we're constantly programming our own minds. Those things are being deposited into your subconscious at that time. The subconscious is also open to receiving messages anytime we're around somebody we place in a position of authority. We're taught from the time we're little to respect the big people. They know what they're talking about. Big people are like gods who have all of the answers. And so when we're around somebody we perceive to be an authority, even when we're adults ourselves, we tend to be susceptible to the messages they give us. This, incidentally, is why placebo works. We tend to place doctors on a pedestal. We go see the doctor knows things, and the doctor gives us a pill and tells us this is going to make you feel better. And even though the pill was sugar or placebo, we actually 38% of the time respond by getting better. It's not because the pill did anything, it's not because the doctor did anything, it's because we took a message into our powerful subconscious mind and the subconscious responded to it. That filter is also open when we're around somebody whose opinion matters to us. This is why the messages we get from our peers or those closest to us matter so much, because those people are kind of programming our minds as well. The filter is also open when we're under the influence of drugs or alcohol or under anesthetic. And so again, the conscious mind checks out, but the subconscious at those times is readily available. This is actually kind of interesting. They've taken people who were anesthetized for some sort of surgery or procedure, put them in hypnosis, and they were able to recall under hypnosis things that were said or done when they were under the effects of anesthetic, things that could be verified by somebody else in the room. And so the subconscious doesn't sleep. It can't be anesthetized. It's ever present. And when we're in a state where we're open, it's constantly taking in messages. And because of its sheer size, whatever is in the subconscious mind wins. So let's say, for example, that person who got bit by a dog has a belief on a subconscious level that dogs are threatening. Now they can know intellectually that dogs are not threatening, that maybe some dogs are, but not all of them. They can know intellectually that they want to be comfortable and feel at ease around a dog, but knowing that intellectually doesn't change anything on a subconscious level. Whatever is going on a subconscious level wins every single time.